Hello YouTube, beautiful day here in Cornwall. And I'm just thinking about yesterday actually, because yesterday I was down in Penzance with Laura Layla, another YouTube user, and we're at a small artists-led gallery down there called CAZ, Cornwall Autonomous Zone, and we were doing a seminar on the Equals Project, which is this initiative that Laura Layla started and that I got involved in, to do with a kind of promotion of various forms of creative activity and connected community kind of practice here on YouTube and other places. And we talked about that in the equality competition particularly. And it was a really lovely event actually. Some great people came along there. The people who run the gallery space down there, Ian and Rebecca and Andrew, they were really nice folk and were very helpful to us. And the people who joined in the seminar were great. Some really nice people, and some good questions and conversation took place. A lot of interest in what people have been doing and the videos that people made. So that was all good, and the conversation, as I say, went really well. But there was lots of things that were just, because we had limited time, we're only there for about 3 hours. Of course, we couldn't cover everything inevitably, and there was lots of loose ends. I thought, I wish I could talk a bit more about that. That was good. So I thought I might make a few videos, just pick it up on some of those ideas and see if I can think into them a bit, because I like to do that. And one of the things I'm thinking about right now, which was to do with, these are all about kind of related to arts practice, because it was a gallery space, obviously. But the thing that I'm thinking about right now is two things that came up, which I guess at the time I thought, oh, those are kind of connected, but we couldn't make the connection. The first was to do with nudity in performance. This woman there, Rebecca, who's also an artist, she and her and someone else were doing this show, a thing in a performance art festival in Berlin. I think it was at Berlin, maybe it's a different one. Anyway, she was doing this and she was naked in it, and she was saying that someone had videoed this performance and put it on YouTube without any kind of consultation, without asking her permission or anything like that, and she felt a bit weird about that. She didn't flag it down or anything like that, but it's a bit of an invasion of privacy, isn't it, when someone films you, even if it is a public event, like, this is, what she was doing was public. When someone films it and makes it available to a wider public or a different public, that's a bit odd, isn't it, really? So she mentioned that, which got me thinking about nudity in performance. And then later on, a different conversation took place to do with anonymity and the special kinds of versions of anonymity that we have here on YouTube, particularly an unwillingness to show one's face, or the kind of massive, what sometimes feels like a massive act of trust to show your face on camera like this. Because once you've shown your face on camera, you can never, deny who you are. You can never make a different account and pretend to be someone else and show your face on there. You've kind of signed yourself into the world, haven't you, really? And using your real voice as well. And those things, in a way, are more of a commitment than using your real name or giving personal details about your offline life. Because once you've shown your face and given your voice on camera, that's it. You've committed yourself to "this is me" statement. And that, I thought that was quite interesting. It reminded me of somebody I work with who did this little project on chat roulette, which I won't bore you with. But if you know chat roulette, you'll know that it's, as well as people chatting on there, it's typically a place where men show their penises to cameras for strangers. And one of my colleagues at work did a little project on there where she'd do go from webcam to webcam until she found someone who was showing their penis, and then she'd talk to the person and get them to show their face. And sometimes that took absolutely ages, you can probably imagine, because they had a much different set of they were just much more reticent to show this part of their body than the southern end of their body, so to speak. Which, so there's something quite interesting about anonymity and revealing one's identity generally. So anyway, there was a conversation about that, and how, as I say, on YouTube, there's showing your face is quite a big deal in some ways. It doesn't always seem like that, but it can do. And yeah, putting those two bits together, the showing your face and the nudity in performance art in this case. Because the history of performance art, I know a little bit about the history of performance art, although I wouldn't consider myself a performance artist. A lot of the nudity that exists in that kind of history, and there has been a lot of history of a lot of nudity in that history, is I mean, it's often associated with a certain kind of stripping away, a certain kind of anti-glamour approach, a kind of pre-expressive approach, you might say. You know, a lot of the great works of performance art, live art, that have been performed nude, as I say, have been performed nude because it's an attempt to kind of strip away the trappings of bodily adornment, or the things that make us different, to try to find something that makes us the same. You know, just a biology in a space, just skin and bones and blood and, you know, this stuff, viscera. So a lot of it is about that, an attempt to get beyond culture, get beyond or beneath society, beneath all those kind of differences, to a, you know, almost an essential kind of humanness. I mean, it might be a failed attempt, but that's certainly one of the attempts that I think a lot of performance art, nudity in performance art, is about. And that's, you know, a laudable ambition. Probably doomed to failure, I have to say, particularly these days, because you know, we're so used to seeing nude bodies these days, and the nude body in performance art now has become something of a cliche, I guess. And putting on your nudity now is a little bit like putting on a costume, and you know, dressing up in your own skin, dressing up in nakedness now is, as I say, there's almost a glamour to that, and I'm using glamour in the sense of illusion. You know, I think the etymology of the word glamour comes from illusion, doesn't it? There's a kind of illusion about that, an illusion of nakedness whilst also being naked. So there's something interesting about that. But sorry, to cut to the chase, the point of it, at least, I think partially, is that to signify, you know, I'm not what I'm dressed in. I'm not that cultured being. At base, I'm just biology with all the seepings and the abject nature that human bodies just have, you know what I mean? There's that. And then there's this abject thing, looking at that technologically mediated thing. You know, this stripping away of anonymity, of a kind of, without it being just a reversion back to I am who I am in real life. You know, when I show my face to camera, or you show your face to camera, and make that kind of commitment that I can never be anybody else on YouTube apart from what you're seeing now. It is a parallel kind of stripping away of that kind of facade of invisibleness, if that's even a word, invisibility. A stripping away of the culture of you know, a nicely typed font on a screen, or stripping away of the Google image search stuff, you know, that could be accompanying these words, and an acceptance of that we're both alike, you know what I mean? And the fact a lot of these videos are made with people like myself, people like yourself, looking directly into the lens of the camera. There's something very very vulnerable about that position, isn't there? And you are making yourself vulnerable. You're saying, look, this is my face. You don't need to know my name necessarily, or any details of my personal life. This is enough of a giveaway. This is enough of a commitment, a giving of one another to one another, that you know, in some ways parallels, I think, the taking off of clothes in some performance art, in a way to say, look, I'm giving of this, my naked body, so you can look beyond the trappings of culture which dress me in certain ways and make me move in certain ways and put certain shoes on my feet, a certain jacket on my back. Anyway. blah, blah, blah. Anyhow, it was a very nice event, and if I think of anything more coherent to say than this, it's quite early in the morning, I'll let you know. Anyway, here I am, look at this, and listen to the sounds of those birds. Time for a 4 minutes 33 seconds, I think.